Are you participating in Locktober?
In what?
Locktober?
Where's Locktober?
It depends on how you want to define it.
What? Just like making sure you lock your doors?
No, there's the straight Locktober, which is like locking in for October, just doing your best.
Okay.
And then there's the gay Locktober, which is putting your dick in a cage.
Oh. I think it was like last week? Someone on League mentioned that. They were like, who here is doing Locktober? And just fucking none of us replied because we didn't know what the fuck it was.
Is there a high percentage of gay people on League?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. And it's weird that no one knew what it was.
Well, I mean, all the people I play with are straight.
That you know of.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see one of them being bi. Maybe two.
We got our first user-submitted ghost story.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, someone DM'd us on TikTok, so I told them I would read it out. Oh,
okay.
Fuck. It's a short one. It's not long. It's like a couple sentences.
His personal experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
From North Carolina.
Damn.
We're going back to that field.
Jimmy Beast.
So they basically DM'd us. This is Ricky Book Talk.
Okay.
So he said, in the Caraway Mountains of North Carolina, near the place of the heart, in quotes, the place of the heart, I was fighting with my ex. I stormed off, determined to walk the 20 miles to the next town. About a mile down the road, I started hearing calling that I first thought was some sort of big bird. It was like an ooh-wah, ooh-wah. I kept walking and the calls kept getting closer. I finally decided to face the source of the calls and spotted a 10-foot tall orangutan in the woods.
That has to be Bigfoot. I don't think it's a ghost.
Well, okay, maybe I was. He DM'd us after the cryptids episode, so paranormal, supernatural experience. I Scooby-Doo ran home so fast that I think
just opening doors in the forest and coming out other doors in the forest.
I think the and then like run off. I Scooby-Doo ran home so fast that I think I took 20 steps the whole mile. When I returned.
Oh, wait, 20 steps for a mile? That's what, like a fucking
like a Hulk run?
100-foot stride? Yeah.
When I returned, I recounted my story to the rednecks. I wasn't a local. They knew all about it and had dozens of stories of their own.
Damn, so there's just a big old monkey in North Carolina.
I could see that. There's a lot of stuff going on. In fact, we're actually going to be doing an episode closer to Thanksgiving out of North Carolina.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a supernatural. I think I want to do the Roanoke.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that.
There's been some developments.
Really?
Yeah.
In the
Roanoke community.
In the fucking, what is it, like 500 years since it happened?
I think we're at 400 because it was like 1650.
Okay.
So we're almost at 400. Yeah. I'm not.
Did they find them?
We know what happened to them. That's the whole thing. Is like we know. It's just people are like we don't have proof, so we can't say what happened to them. You know, and so that's like excuses for idiots to be like they were abducted by aliens.
Motherfucker, that is exactly what I was thinking happened.
When they like very clearly like wrote on the tree, we went to Croatoa, the Native American tribe that we named Croatoa. Like they just assimilated. That's all that happened. But there's been some developments that have like backed that up.
Dude, on the topic of mysteries, I've been getting into horses. Like just watching like a lot of videos about horses.
You and Grace need to link up.
They're like interesting creatures. I saw a video of this horse that was scared of a zebra. Like the horse saw a zebra and it was like, what the fuck is that? And then I've seen a lot of videos.
Are horses colorblind? Is that why?
I don't think so. I think it's just because it sees something that's like looks like it, but not really.
So it's like a white person seeing a black person and like
I was thinking
the state of Idaho.
I was thinking more. Well, I mean Idaho, yeah, but I was thinking more the uncanny valley like type thing that we have.
Okay,
like maybe
like the
horses,
smiling man.
Yeah, maybe the horses suffer from that dementia as well.
Is uncanny valley a dementia thing?
I don't think so. I'm just putting words together.
Do you know that's the reason that we're scared of corpses?
Dementia?
No, uncanny valley.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought it was something uh like how other animals kind of stay away from corpses, because it's like, okay, this thing died here, it's either poisoning this water that it's next to, or like, because cats have that. I had to like scoop my cat's food farther away from their water, because if their food is too close to their water, it like instinctually tells them that water has gone like bad or something.
It might be the reverse. So I think the uncanny valley helps us stay away from things that are dangerous.
Oh yeah.
So like the reason we feel an uncanny valley is like, it's like the brain, it's like a reasonable explanation for your brain knowing that something is dangerous, like a corpse.
Yeah,
because
it's like something's not quite right and you can't figure it out, so you just automatically assume danger.
Yeah.
Good survival instinct.
Yeah. The Battlefield 6.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's so much better than the beta was, and the beta was really fucking good.
I don't really care about this. I stopped caring about this many years ago, but the graphics on it are insane.
Yeah.
Like I had played Arkham Knight on my monitor, and the graphics for 2015 are really, really good.
Yeah, there's some older games that still hold up. Like I've been playing through The Division. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I think you explained it to me a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, I played The Division 2, but I'm playing The Division now, and that came out in like 2016, and it still looks decent.
Well, so yeah, I mean the graphics hold up, but I kind of stopped caring about it because it's, for me, it's more so about how the game functions rather than like, does it look pretty?
Yeah,
it's part of it, but if it's a game that doesn't need to look pretty, it doesn't need great graphics. It's like why Mario is fine as it is. It's like you just need a good platform.
Yeah.
But I turned it on yesterday, and when we started playing, I was like, holy shit, it's like crystal clear. Like there's like something tangibly different about, maybe it's because I was playing it on a PS5, I don't know, but like just something tangibly different about like this particular FPS. Like really good graphics.
Yeah, I have my shit spec towards both performance and graphics, so it runs fucking amazing. And God, the one thing that fucking annoys me about that game is the people in the all chat being like,
change your
Call
name,
of Duty kids, Call of Duty kids. No, that one was valid, but all the people saying, just like the constant debate between like Battlefield and fucking Call of Duty in the all chat. Like, I don't care. Like, stop making me read.
It's probably because there's probably a lot of people hate playing the game.
I mean,
and like realizing that it is in fact better than a Call of Duty game, but Battlefield's always kind of been better than Call of Duty in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
Like even the worst Battlefield games
they've at least been competitive in the past, but hopefully this puts fucking Call of Duty, like gives them a wake up call, and they're like, okay, let's do what fucking Battlefield did and have a passionate, dedicated team, give them like 5 years to make an actual good game.
Instead of pumping one out every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years in a row of fucking Black Ops entries.
I will say the one thing that I hated when I turned it on was when I was customizing everything. I spent a good 25 minutes looking for, because you know you can test your guns in the range. So I was testing it, and I always do my look left, look right on it just to kind of see, you know, how fast I can swing around. And I was like going really slow. I was like, oh, I need to change the look sensitivity. Spent 25 minutes looking for it, and it's buried in the aim sensitivity. So like it's labeled as, I think it's like aim something. It's like essentially it's, instead of having your sensitivity when you're looking down your scope and when you're just standing there, two different settings, it's one setting. And I was like, okay, perhaps we label things a little bit better, because I had to Google it. And there was a whole subreddit on it of like, where the hell is this setting?
No, yeah, that was a big thing during the beta. It's like the settings menu was confusing.
There's a lot. They really opened it up for customization.
Yeah.
In all the right spaces.
Yeah.
Not in the classes or your appearance.
Yeah. I mean, you can customize appearance just like very minimally.
But I'm not going to get killed by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, thank God.
Wait. They should low-key, now that Saudi Arabia owns This game, technically.
We're gonna put Bill Burr in it.
They should put like key Saudi figures like Osama bin Laden in it.
Fucking, what's that guy's name? MSB?
Oh, Mohammed bin Solomon?
MBS, yeah.
MBS, yeah.
Yeah.
The prince, the crown prince, he's just like a DLC.
Yeah.
You
So,
blow
like,
up a building
you
and
know,
he does...
how they had the like fucking pinup girls on the planes in World War II?
Yeah.
Start like painting him on the side of the Apaches.
Fucking Arnold Palmer as a DLC because they own the golf games now. I don't know what the golf games are. PGA and Live Golf. Jared Kushner. Oh god. I don't have a transition. Do you have anything else?
I feel like I did, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Well, I have something else on this episode of the Learning Curve podcast. Episode 39.
I'm really thinking I can't remember what it was.
It'll come to you.
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. So this week this is our third episode of our Halloween extravaganza. We have our super secret...
Wait, what are we doing next week?
Your candy.
I thought that was on like the episode that's releasing the week of Halloween. I think there's an extra week we don't have anything for.
No, that was supposed to be the Coloma episode. So it was supposed to be Dyer Lane, then Coloma.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. Because this is our third and there's 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So we need...
What are we doing for the week of Halloween then?
Dyer Lane.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We just already filmed the...
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's a lot more. I left a lot of stuff out in the documentary so that there's still like a lot to dig into and there's a lot more stories to it. This is our super secret true crime episode and I'm really sad because I couldn't find my FBI hat. I don't know where it is, but that's my like true crime cap that I was going to put out as a prop. But I do have, let me see if I can get this right. Hell yeah.
Big black box.
A big black box. Why? Because today we're talking about
the Zodiac Killer?
Yes.
How the fuck does this relate to bingo?
Oh, I never said it related to bingo. I said it related to my mom.
Is your mom the Zodiac Killer? Is this why you think you figured it out? I think my grandpa was the Zodiac. Okay.
I think I've solved the Zodiac case.
Okay.
So I'm going to present to you my compelling evidence for this, that my grandpa was the Zodiac Killer.
Okay.
I spent many hours on this, so hopefully...
I think I remember you telling me you thought this in the past.
Oh, me and my sister repeat it very often. It pisses my mom off. I had to...
So you called her just to piss her off? Wait, which grandpa?
My mom's dad.
So not
the one that got killed.
Oh, the one that you like loved intensely.
Yeah, not the one that ate a bullet.
Okay.
All right. Before we begin... Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I have a lot of animations on this.
Jesus.
Before we
I'm
begin...
in 4th grade again.
This is just a disclaimer that I actually really don't believe this, but it could be true. But because we're talking about real things and an unsolved case, I don't want people to get mad at us.
Yeah, I'm not reading all that.
I'm happy for you, man, or sad. If you want to read that, go ahead. I just put it in there to, like a salt circle for being canceled. That's what this is. Okay. Before we get into it, if you want like an in-depth thing on the Zodiac cases, listen to Morbid. They're a true crime podcast. And they're like the only people who do it kind of sort of ethically. So there you go.
How can you unethically do a podcast?
Well, if you're getting ad revenue for talking about murders and being like, my favorite murderer is, my favorite case is,
oh,
it's like kind of weird. But like,
I mean, it's weird.
Morbid does it in a way where they're like, they really focus on the victims more so than anything else. They humanize the victims and are like, these are actual people that were hurt. So like, you know, let's have some like seriousness about it.
Okay.
The opposite of what we're doing here.
Because an old noise word meaning kill.
So before we get into my grandpa, I would like to just give a quick little sky flyby overview of the Zodiac Killer.
Somebody, this motherfucker wore a paper bag, right?
It was not a paper bag. It's an executioner's head, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
So let's start off with who the Zodiac was. Not in identity, but just, you know. I did the typewriter thing because of the movie.
Okay.
So the Zodiac, he was an unidentified serial killer who operated, and we have a shout out to our Algerian listeners.
Was the Zodiac Killer Algerian?
No, but they might not know who the Zodiac is. So there's some people from outside California who don't know who the Zodiac is, but I always thought the Zodiac was kind of like in the big five of serial killers. Like American serial, like there's Ted Bundy, there's John Wayne Gacy, there's Eileen Wuornos, Zodiac, and like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I don't know who the Eileen one is.
She's like the first quote unquote female serial killer.
That's not the one that was like from here, right?
I think she was in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean in Sacramento?
Yeah.
That's Dorothy Fuentes.
That's who it was, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, where did he get those pants?
This is just a sketch. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know who the Zodiac is, he's an unidentified serial killer who operated in the San Francisco Bay Area from 1968 to 1969. Those were the years he killed, but they were not the years he was active. He was active way after 1969. He was believed to have killed 5 people, but there are like up to like 70 attributed cases to him, but the police and like investigators have not definitively linked those to him. So there's only 5 official attacks or kills. So some background on the Zodiac. The murders were of significance because the killer taunted the police through newspapers and letters. He was sending letters from 1969 to 1974, and he would usually start his letters with, "This is the Zodiac speaking," and he would include the famous crosshair symbol and ciphers and details about the crimes that no one else would know. So it was legitimately whoever was committing these crimes was contacting the police.
He was sending like little pieces of their clothing with the
that is
too,
one
right?
of them, yes, and we'll talk about that. That's one of them, because we're going to go through all of the 5 main attacks just to kind of understand what's going on here. So let's talk about the ciphers just real quick, because we'll get into them a little bit later on when he starts sending them. But basically, he would send these ciphers. They made no sense. This is the 408 cipher because it has 408 characters in it. And it was partially decoded by Donald and Betty Hardin. Donald was a high school economics teacher and Betty was a homemaker, and Betty had intuitions about the contents of the cipher. And honestly, no idea where she got these skills from, but she basically like looked at it and was like, okay, there's certain words that are probably going to be in here, so we need to identify them. So like she was like, the word kill is probably going to be in here because he's a killer, or like victim or blood or gun or whatever is going to be in here because he's writing a letter and he's not going to be writing about anything else but the crimes. So they were able to identify certain patterns. So like, I don't know if you can see, there's like, so I just saw it. There's like certain like repeat symbols, like the square that's like half filled in.
Yeah.
Or the squares that are completely filled in. So clearly that's a double letter.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out what English, what letters appear as double letters. So like A's out, but E doesn't, and O doesn't. So you just got to kind of figure that out. They ended up decoding at least partially part of it, which they have a quote from it. It says, "I like killing people because it's so much fun." So they were able to decode part of it, and these are just average people who have no business being, you know.
Dude, give me like 2 hours and an Adderall, and I could do that.
We'll talk about these a little bit later on because, oh no, we're actually going to talk about it right now. So this is the 340 cipher, again, named because it has 340 characters. It was mailed to the San Francisco Chronicle. This was his main source of communication, was the Chronicle, in 1969, and it was unable to be cracked until 2020. So it is solved partially by some amateur cryptologists, David Orenchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl Van Eek. They're all from across the world. Like, they don't know each other. They were just like teamed up to like look at this. And the quote that they got from it was, "I hope you're having lots of fun trying to catch me." I don't know where in that cipher it says that, but somewhere in that cipher it says that. So now we'll talk about the letters that he sent. This is honestly the most, like, I don't know, kind of disturbing part, and we're going to come back to these later on when I present my evidence. But the killer would usually send letters with the ciphers, so he would send a letter and attach a cipher, essentially. Really would have digged Gmail. The interesting parts about the letters, if you look at the handwriting, again, he would have started with, "This is the Zodiac speaking." I'm no linguist, but I do have a little bit of knowledge on it. He likes taunting people, and he would purposely misspell very simple words, which I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he would. But when you start to look at it, this is a pretty like normal writing, right? But when you get into the more ones, so you see how this one is like slanted down? That's a sign of depression when your handwriting slants down like that to the left. So again, I'm not licensed to diagnose someone, and I'm not a linguist, but from what I do know, that's a sign of depression. So, but you could see here, he just misspells like random words. So it's very interesting. This one was always the scariest one to me. I don't know why.
This is like the shit from the fucking Batman movie where he was leaving like greeting cards.
Matt Reeves confirmed that they based the Riddler off the Zodiac.
Okay.
Yeah. Executioner hood and all. Okay. So now let's talk about the disappearance of the Zodiac. So essentially, the last confirmed kill was the fourth attack, and we'll talk about that later, which was in 1969. Reporter Robert Graysmith, who wrote the famous book that I have right here as our prop, he wrote the famous book, and the movie's based off of the book. He worked at the Chronicle. He was a cartoonist, I believe, but he kind of got really ingrained in the whole letter thing. He claimed that the killer was active into the 80s with dozens more victims, but that's not substantiated. So he kind of did his own little investigation. Now, it's worth noting that Robert Graysmith is not an investigative journalist, and he is not some kind of practicing law enforcement official. So it's called amateur, but he is the one most familiar with this and knows the case the best. A lot of people, including the movie, point their finger at the Vallejo High School teacher Arthur Lee Allen, who died in 1992. This was unsubstantiated, but there is a lot of evidence pointing to him being the killer. But again, never confirmed. Okay, so now let's talk about the killings. This is my photo. I took this.
Wow.
Okay, so the first killing, or was it attack, I guess I should say, was David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen. This was the one that everyone knows. It is, they were 16 and 17 years old, respectively, and they were on their first date on Lake Herman Road in Benicia, California. Betty Lou Jensen was a junior in high school and an honor student and a member of the Sunshine Girls, which, through my research, was essentially like Eagle Scouts. David Faraday was a senior in high school, age gap, problematic, I know. He was an active in student government, wrestling, and also was an Eagle Scout himself.
Is it just me, or do people from back then
look
like
older?
16 years old. Yeah, look older than 16
Because everyone
now.
smoked. Everyone chain smoked.
I mean, they still do that.
Chain vape.
Yeah. That's what it is. Vaping keeps you younger.
Okay. So the first attack took place on December 20th 1968, around 11:15 p.m. on this road here. This is the exact spot that it happened at, photographed in modern day. David was shot point blank 1 time in the head, while Betty was shot 5 times in the back. The weapon used was a .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol with Winchester Western Super X copper-coated long rifle ammo. Don't know what any of that means. There was no apparent signs of robbery or sexual assault. Now, I will say this as someone who has 2 criminal justice degrees, so I am qualified to say it. Shooting one person in the head execution style is a way to gain control, but it's also a way to intimidate someone else. Shooting someone 5 times in the back is a substitute.
Emotional.
It's emotional. It's a substitute for sexual assault.
Yeah.
So clearly he had and you'll see a pattern when we talk about the female victims. You'll see a pattern emerge. He clearly did not like women. He had some kind of grudge against them, in my opinion. Okay, so the couple were approached while they were in Faraday's car out on Lake Herman Road. There were shots fired into the car to force them out. Jensen exits the passenger door, so Betty Lou was in the passenger door. She jumps out. David follows her, which is where he was shot in the head, and then Betty Lou Jensen was shot 5 times in the back, running.
And did both of them die? One of them died?
They both died.
Okay.
So now we have the second attack. So this was Michael Renault Magoo and Darlene Elizabeth Fernan. They were 19 and 22 years old, respectively. They had been friends since childhood. Darlene was a wife and a young mother who worked at a restaurant, and Michael was a day laborer. They had been best friends for quite some time. And on the night of the murder, which was July 4th/5th, so this basically took place at 11:55 p.m. On July 4th, and it kind of carried over into the 5th, so that's why it's labeled as that. Right around midnight, Darlene was shot 9 times, while David was shot 4 times with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Again, no signs of robbery or sexual assault, but I do believe that the 9 times was a substitute for that.
Yeah.
This took place, not even joking, down the street from the first murder. Not down the street as in from here to the Walgreens, but down the street is maybe from here to the Bel Air by us. So a couple miles. There was no sign of sexual assault or robbery, like I said. The pair had been parked in an isolated location, talking in the park, when a suspicious light brown car, which was identified as a Mustang or a Corvair, I don't know what that is, but I assume it looks similar to a Mustang, pulled in next to them. The man exited the car with a flashlight, and the pair thought it was the cops because they were just sitting in a parking lot in a golf course. And the man begins firing into the car. So the first 5 shots were fired, and then that was it. So he clearly shot Michael a certain amount of times and Darlene a couple of times, and then was like, okay, I'm done. The man starts to walk back to his car and realizes that Magoo was still alive, and he comes back and fires the remaining rounds. Michael actually survived this, believe it or not. What happens when you only get shot 5 times versus 9? You have a better chance of living, I guess. He was able to give a brief description to the police. Man who was 5'8" or 5'9", in the late 20s, early 30s, with a stocky build, round face, and brown hair. 45 minutes later, after this attack took place, Vallejo PD got a phone call claiming responsibility. And then in the coming days, so Fernan was married at the time with a kid, but she had an ex-husband. Both of those husbands were suspected of the crime at first, but they were eventually ruled out. So they're not at all associated with this.
A little something about ballistics too. It's easier. It's not easy either way, but it's easier to survive getting shot by a 9mm round versus a 22
because it's smaller.
Yeah, 22 is smaller. It's a lot more fragile of a round, and so when it impacts you, it has a tendency to shatter and ping pong around inside of you and bounce off a lot of shit. Yeah. Whereas a 9mm, more velocity, heavier, will typically just punch through.
Gotcha. Okay, so now we'll move on to the third attack. Going through this pretty quickly here because I don't want to spend too much time on these. Is Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard. This is probably the most famous attack of it all. So they were 20 and 22 years old, respectively, and they were relaxing on the shoreline of Lake Berryessa in Napa, California. Both were Pacific Union college students. The attack took place on September 27th, 1969, and I have it there as lasting through September 29th, 1969, because one of them survived, and one of them died on September 29th. They both survived the attack, but one of them died. They were both hogtied and both stabbed. There was no shots fired this time. This is a picture from the movie of the reenactment of it.
Yeah, I think I've seen that clip on TikTok.
So the couple were relaxing when they saw a man watching them. They kind of were like a little weirded out, but like it was kind of like whatever. He approached them and was dressed in an executioner's hood with glasses and a bib with the Zodiac symbol on it. This is the sketch, official police sketch right here. I've always thought this guy looks like the one from Shrek. He's like, pick number 3, my lord. Yeah, that one. But yeah, this is what he looked like. He had like a bomber jacket on and an executioner's hood. He claimed to be an escaped prisoner from Folsom Prison nonetheless, and basically said, I'm trying to get to Mexico. And the couple was like, here, you can take literally everything, just please don't hurt us. The killer ties them both up and begins stabbing them. After the attack, the man just walked away, and a nearby fisherman ended up helping the couple. After a couple hours, they kind of just were like sitting there bleeding. It took the ambulance an hour to arrive, which was crazy. Napa PD received a call from the killer, which traced to a phone booth with fingerprints, but those were never really useful with anything. Shepard died after about 48 hours, but Hartnell ended up surviving, and that's how they got all this information, obviously, about the attack. Now, when the killer left the crime scene, he stopped their car and wrote a message on their car. As you can see on the left, it says Vallejo, and it has the date of Betty Lou Jensen and what's his name's killing. David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen. And then he also wrote 7469, which was Michael Renault Magu and Darlene Elizabeth Fernand's murder date. He also wrote the times of when he did this and by knife.
Oh, okay.
It says September 27th, 1969, 6:30 p.m. by knife.
Gotcha.
The hell? Oh, we're going backwards. Okay, hold on.
Oh. I was like, you just forgot the rest of it?
I was like, I went through this many times. This was not a good idea to have all these animations in retrospect.
Yeah.
I just like the typing animation. I think it looks cool.
So how tall was your grandpa?
Hold on, we're going to get into it. That's like the whole point of this. Come on.
Really, you can just click again to skip the animation, though.
Oh, because it's timed out.
Damn.
Okay, finally, here we go. Fourth attack. Okay. So the fourth attack was... Oh my god. I'm gonna kill myself. Fourth attack. Paul Stein, single victim. Paul Stein was 29 years old. He was a cab driver from San Francisco, California, and the attack took place on October 11th, 1969 at around 10 p.m. On Washington and Cherry Street of Presidio Heights. The Google image of that neighborhood right there today. Well, 2 weeks ago when I did this. Very nice affluent neighborhood. If you've ever been to Presidio Heights, this is a very interesting neighborhood to kill someone in. So Paul was shot once in the head with a 9mm pistol, which was different from the Fernan one. So he has now used 3 different guns.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the first attack with a third-party witness. Paul's cab was hailed at Mason and Geary Street in San Francisco and was directed to Washington and Maple, but somehow ended up at Washington and Cherry. Shots were fired from the cab, and men that were kind of in the area around 60 feet away witnessed the killer wiping the cab down after the shooting. So here's a map of what that route would have looked like. So he was coming from East San Francisco over here all the way to West. This is just businesses in the area, but this is where the killing took place, and he was supposed to go like right here. So he actually went like a few blocks down more. It was interesting. No one knows why. So the killer took Stein's wallet and keys and left bloody fingerprints and shoe prints at the scene, and witnesses alerted the San Francisco Police Department and provided them a description, which was a white, stocky man, about 25 to 30 years old, 5'8 to 5'9, with reddish brown hair and dark clothes and glasses. So this was the official sketch of the Zodiac, probably one of the more famous ones. Now, the dispatcher made a broadcast mistake when the dispatcher said, "You're looking for a black man."
Yeah.
This is like one of the most famous things. So the officers see the suspect. They see the person who committed this crime walk right past them. They ended up describing him as a white male, 35 to 45, 5'10", 180 to 200 pounds, barrel-chested and brown-haired. And they didn't do anything because they were looking for a black guy who didn't exist. This is also where he took part of the shirt from Paul Stein. The killing at the time was actually believed to be random, but the Zodiac took credit 2 days later by mailing them the shirt.
Yeah.
So clearly, okay. So now we'll get into my grandpa.
Is that you?
That is me. My grandpa's to the left of me.
Mm.
And then that's my uncle on the left. All right. So let's talk about my grandpa. So he was born in 1944, which would have put him in 1969 at the age of 25. He lived in the San Francisco Bay Area, pretty much starting in his teen years. He was in the military, so he knew how to use guns. He was a longshoreman working in San Francisco, so he was familiar with the San Francisco area. He was 5'10", barrel-chested in his younger years, and he fluctuated in weight a lot, and he's ethnically ambiguous.
Oh my god.
So let's talk about the connection and timeline. So, 1944, this is when my grandpa was born.
Okay.
1962, my grandpa gets drafted, goes to the Bay of Pigs.
Okay.
64, my uncle, his first kid is born.
Okay.
So he has a kid in 1964. No killings yet, right? Top part is going to be my grandpa, bottom part will be the Zodiac, right?
Okay.
1965, my aunt, his second kid is born. 1966, my other aunt, his third kid is born. And then in 1968, the first attack in Benicia gets killed. What's the common thread? This is the first year where he doesn't have a kid being born.
That is pretty damning.
Okay. No kids being born, right? First attack in Benicia, California. In 1969, my grandpa moves the family to Daly City, which is just south of San Francisco. Like literally the city below it.
Okay.
Then in 1969, on July 4th, the second attack in Vallejo, California occurs.
How far are those places apart from each other?
Vallejo from San Francisco?
No, Vallejo from
Daly City. Daly City's pretty much San Francisco.
Okay.
So 40 minutes maybe? 30 minutes?
Are you going back?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. Where are we? July 31st through August 4th of 1969 is when the first letters and ciphers were mailed. So that makes sense. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck?
I will say, from what you've told me about your grandpa, he is potentially a CIA agent.
No, that's my great grandpa.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay. On September 27th of 1969, this is when the third attack occurs at Lake Berryessa. And then the fourth attack occurs on October 11th. Oh my God, that was yesterday.
Oh my God, this happened yesterday?
On October 11th in San Francisco. This would have been when my grandma was pregnant with my mom.
So what, you think he has a kid and he's like, I brought life into this world. I need to balance the scales.
No, I think in the years that he was killing from 1968 to 1969, he had no kids being born. In October of 1969, my grandma would have gotten pregnant with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Then the killings stop. And here we are in well, hold on, we're not there yet. So then in November, when my mom is not born, but she is cooking, she's in the oven, 2 letters come to the San Francisco Chronicle. In December, more letters come to attorney Melvin Belly. Then in April, in April, letters and cards are sent to the San Francisco Chronicle. Then in June, another letter comes to the Chronicle. Then my mom is born.
Okay.
I don't know why I have the wrong birthday there.
That is don't know when your mom was born?
No, I do know. That's my grandpa's birthday. I don't know why my mom's birthday is the 14th. So just a day. But either way. Then, 10 days after my mom is born, 26 letters get sent to the San Francisco Chronicle.
So what, you think he's so happy about a new child that he's just writing letters?
I think he's up all night with a crying baby.
Okay.
He has time on his hands. In October of 1970, a postcard and card come to the San Francisco Chronicle. And then in 1971, a letter to the LA Times and a postcard to the San Francisco Chronicle are sent. Then in 1974, we have a letter sent to the San Francisco Chronicle on January 29th. Postcard sent again on Valentine's Day. Another card to the Chronicle on May 8th. And then the last letter comes to the Chronicle in 1974.
Now, I don't have any children, but you said he's writing all of these because he has a lot of time on his hand.
Yeah.
That is the exact opposite of everyone I know with children, like what they say. They say they have no time on their hands.
Okay. Well, what happens in the later part of 1974? My grandpa moves again to South City.
Okay.
Which is a little bit further south, away from San Francisco.
South City is further south, you say?
Correct.
Okay.
And that is when the activity stops from Zodiac. So, let's take a look at the geographic.
Love how you dox yourself on this.
You can't see where I live. You can see where I was when I did this, but you can't see where I live.
You were here when you did this, I imagine.
Anyway, okay, so here's the first kill, okay?
Okay.
Here's the second kill. That's how close they were.
Okay.
Then we have the third kill, which is
motherfucker traveled.
Then we have the fourth kill.
Okay.
Okay. So simple geographic profiling just says take the furthest away kill, north and south, draw a giant circle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That would be this. Okay. Now, let's take a look. No. Oh my god. Kill myself.
Okay, a little house popped up down there.
Oh, it did. Perfect. Okay, that little house, that's where they lived.
Okay.
Right outside the geographic profile. Most killers will not live right within it. They'll live right outside it.
Okay, makes sense.
Because they won't kill. My grandpa also lived in Vacaville.
Disgusting.
Later on, though.
Another thing that I've been thinking of, that he's military trained. How long was he in the military?
Drafted in 1962. I think he was a longshoreman, just a couple years.
Did he ever get deployed?
He was in the Bay of Pigs.
Oh yeah, he was in the Bay of Pigs. Was that it?
What?
Like in terms of his military service?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was in the Marines.
Okay.
So he knew how to shoot first.
Because like someone who is military trained one, they wouldn't use a 22. That's just like a gun that you have that kind of gets passed down through the family, like some farmer type shit.
Well, you got to keep in mind, my great grandpa was in the CIA.
Yeah, he also wouldn't have a 22. He would probably have a 1911, which is chambered in 45.
He had a lot of guns. There was guns under every piece of furniture in that house.
Okay.
So,
but either way, just the caliber of the gun doesn't line up, and if he wanted to kill somebody and he was military trained, he would have done it. Like, there wouldn't be survivors.
My grandpa was also a raging alcoholic around this time.
Okay.
So, Okay. Did that house just go away? Oh,
no,
another house popped up. That's where they moved to, South City.
Oh.
And then that's where they lived in Vacaville.
Okay.
So these were the 3 spots that he lived. Notice how just right outside and just right inside the geographic profile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's take a look at some handwriting comparisons.
This is your grandpa's?
This is my grandpa's. This is his.
Perfect. I was going to ask about this.
This is his sourdough recipe. Here's some Zodiac.
Okay, hold on. Don't move.
Look at the S's. Look at the lowercase S's. Like, look at this.
Yeah, they look nothing alike.
No, look at this. This S. And that S look remarkably similar.
No, they don't.
Okay, what about this?
On.
Look at the T's too.
Yeah, I was looking for more T's.
T.
Is there an F in that Zodiac letter? Yeah, the D's are way different.
I don't know if there's more. Let's see.
Your grandpa also like joins letters together, whereas the Zodiac thing was very like spaced out, and each letter had its own space.
Well, I think they look similar. So the verdict, I think my grandpa was the Zodiac Killer.
I think there's just not enough evidence there. Like,
I think
nothing is lining up.
I think the timelines match up. The fact that the killings happened...
I'm sure you could find a bunch of people that had children around the time the Zodiac Killer was killing people. But why is having children stopping him from killing? Like, based off the way the Zodiac Killer writes and sounds and all of that, they sound like someone who is like, maybe they have a wife, but
my grandpa had a wife.
Yeah, a bunch of people have wives. Like, maybe the Zodiac Killer had a wife. More likely than not, they were living alone. And they were kind of like, not isolated from the community, but kind of like separated from the community. I don't think they would start a family.
John Wayne Gacy had a family.
Yeah, but this guy is like ultra killing the women. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think if he had a wife, he has an ex-wife. Did your grandpa have an ex-wife?
No.
Yeah. Or did he have a good relationship with his mother?
No.
No? Okay. But I don't know. I don't think it's enough.
I just think the timelines match up, which is...
And that's it.
That's it. But do I believe that he's a Zodiac Killer? No. But do I think he could be a contender? Yeah. He's dead, so we'll never know.
We'll never know.
He's ethnically ambiguous enough to be mistaken for a black man sometimes.
That's crazy.
So...
Do you have more evidence, or is that it?
No, that's it. That's my evidence. That's the end.
That's
of the
everything?
Yeah. The timeline, the handwriting, and the geographic profile.
Oh my god.
What?
I don't know. I thought you were going to talk more about like the other actual suspects.
Oh, Arthur Lee Allen is really the only other like major suspect. There is a list of like out there suspects that we can go through. I have it bookmarked. Hold on.
Dude, like every couple years I hear someone come forward and be like, my dad just died. He was the Zodiac Killer. He told me in confidence.
Yeah, and I've been keeping this under wraps for what year is it? 2020 for 7 years now. Crazy Zodiac suspect theories.
So wait, what did you call your mom for on this?
So I called her to get the timeline, but I would not tell her what it was for.
Okay.
Because I didn't want her to get pissed.
Does your mom watch the show?
I really hope not. I don't think so. Let's see.
I don't know your mom's name, but if you're listening, I apologize for Cameron. I thought this was going to be like a bingo crime episode. I was really looking forward to it.
I told you it wasn't bingo. So Arthur Lee Allen is considered the most likely suspect, just because of the way that he behaved, and also the fact that I think he went to prison in 1975. And the last letters were sent like at the last part of 74. So then there's also Gary Francis Post, who was someone who in more recent years had partial DNA linked back to the Zodiac Killer, but it's all circumstantial. So they don't really have a lot there. They also suspected that it could be Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, who just randomly switched up from being an eco-terrorist to killing couples fucking in cars.
That's something else that kind of like never sat completely right with me about like the third and fourth killings. Is like his first two are like couples.
Well, they were all couples except for Paul Stein. Because it was.
Wait, what was the third one again?
It was David Michael Faraday and Darlene. What's her name? Or no, not Darlene. Betty Lou Jensen, and then it was and then it was Magoo and Fernan.
Yeah.
Then it was the two at Berryessa, and then Paul Stein.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about the third one. He like switches from shooting them to using a knife
In the third one, and then goes back
to a gun.
So that's a thing with killers, is that with serial killers in particular, they will evolve throughout their killings, but they rarely regress unless they're getting close to being caught.
Okay.
And in this case, he was not close to being caught.
Yeah.
They didn't even suspect the fourth one was him until he claimed if he would have never said anything.
That's also something about the fourth one. It's just like so kind of random.
But he had the shirt.
Fit his thing. Somebody had the shirt.
But
the letters were being released, right, to the public.
They were being put in the.
Yeah, so there's like nothing to stop like one crazy dude.
So
from just like trying to copycat it.
Another theory about all this is that essentially either the first or the second killing, so Betty Lou Jensen and Faraday and Magoo and Fernan, that the killer was somehow related to them in some capacity. Not necessarily like family, but like, socially related to them. And that person did not want to be linked to the crime, obviously. So they went out of their way to commit more crimes in order to target them. So, for example, if it was someone related to Betty Lou Jensen and Michael Faraday, they said, oh shit, I need to go commit more murders to like throw off the scent.
Okay.
And then if it was Magoo or Fernan, it was, okay, I'm going to lead into them because if I kill them first, they're going to look at everyone in their social circle right away.
Yeah.
But
like they did with that husband.
But if they're the second in a series of murders that are considered to be more random, there's going to be less scrutiny around that social circle unless there's overlapping. But the victims were 16 and 17 and 19 and 22. So they adults versus kids.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would have a lot of and they were, I believe, from different like areas of the Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So like different overlapping social circles. There's also a theory that the killer was 2 people or multiple people, essentially like a syndicate. But really the big kind of thing with the Zodiac is that it was just a botched investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a detective, so I don't know how to investigate a murder myself in particular. But I will say that a lot of the reason we have like a true crime genre of like, oh, this unsolved mystery is because of poor police work.
Yeah, and what is it? Like only fucking 10% of murders get solved or some shit?
Yeah. And that was, and it's, look, there's some things that are systemically like whatever, right? So for example, one of the big things that you hear about is like someone will go missing, right? Okay. And then people will go report them, and then the police will say, well, we can't do anything for 48 hours because they're an adult.
Yeah.
That's true. Like I but I don't think it would hurt for police to just say, okay, if you're saying this person's missing, we'll put out a temporary APB on them.
Yeah, because
that way it's hey, we saw this person, we contacted them, we're not going to give them your information, we're not going to arrest them or bring them in or bring them back to you.
Yeah.
But we'll let you know that we did contact them and we verified it was them and let them go. They're alive. You don't need,
Yeah, because like if like Haley or Sean goes missing, like we know those people well enough to be like, okay, they're missing.
Well, that's the whole thing. The day that my grandpa died, my mom called me in the middle of the day. And I knew that someone had died because she called me at like 10:30 a.m. And I was like, my mom knows my school schedule. She would never call me while I'm in school. She would text me. So clearly something is wrong. Like someone has physically died. So I knew before I answered the phone. And that's the whole thing. It's like, I know people's schedule. I know Sean's schedule. So like if he goes missing, like,
if Haley's not home by a certain time, I'm like, not that she has to be home by a certain time, but I mean, like it's regularly weird. She's home by a certain time. Yeah.
It's offbeat.
Yeah.
And so there's that, right? But on top of all that, you have the whole dispatcher was like, you're looking for a black man, when the witnesses were like, hey, it's a white guy.
Yeah.
Like white and black do not sound similar.
How the fuck did that even like happen?
San Francisco PD, man. But then on top of all that, one of the things that the killer did was exploit a very interesting part of our law enforcement system, which is jurisdictional lines, which are a double-edged sword, right? Because they really prevent a lot of overreach, but they also prevent a lot of like good police work from being done, right? Because jurisdiction lines is what stops the FBI from coming in and just doing whatever they want right now. I mean, they're trying to do that, but that's what stops them, right? They have to respect local jurisdiction lines before they involve a higher law enforcement. And so he kills someone in Vallejo or in Benicia, then he kills someone in Vallejo, then he kills someone in unincorporated Napa County, I guess you can say. Then he kills someone in San Francisco. So you have 4 different jurisdictions now, all with different evidence, which means that these 4 jurisdictions have to cooperate with each other. And if there's one thing that police agency was not doing back when they didn't even really understand what serial killers were, it was not cooperating with each other.
Yeah.
So the FBI came in and was like, okay, we're going to try and wrangle this. And then they didn't like the FBI. And
this is why they should have involved Fish and Game.
They have the highest
100% jurisdiction
over everything. That fly really likes you, huh?
It does. It's because I put out a lot of carbon dioxide.
But yeah, I mean, that's really honestly, like, again, like I said, I don't know how to investigate a murder, right? But I fully believe that
I'd probably start by looking for clues.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing is like, he took credit for some of the murders, right? In letters and stuff, but he didn't leave like that note until the 3rd killing. But these were all very short. I mean, this was a year of killing, right? So the second that another murder, right? The first murder is Betty Lou Jensen, David Faraday, right? 2 kids in a car at night in a secluded area. Right? Okay, cool. Benicia PD has that. They do their thing. They're looking for leads. They're exhausting all the social circles. They're doing what they should do. Then you move on to the second killing, which is Michael Magoo and Darlene Fernan. Two young people, not necessarily a couple, but two young people, a male and a female, in a car in a dark, secluded area, gunned down. That is the exact same MO.
Yeah.
The first thing that I'm doing when I see that on the news as a detective at Benicia PD is calling Vallejo PD and being like, hey, do you want all of our files on this? And then can you also in turn give us all of your files on this? And let's work on this together. Mm-hmm. And what they didn't do was that. They literally were just like, no, we can solve this on our own.
Well, this was, what, 60s, 70s?
1968 to 1969.
I mean, communication back then is nothing like it was today, but at the same time it wasn't like abysmal.
No, but that's the whole thing is when you read the book, you understand that they just simply like refused to talk. Like they understood that there was a connection between these murders.
And they just didn't do anything.
And they were just like, they were so standoffish with each other.
Horrific.
And so I believe that in a lot of these unsolved true crime things that it really kind of just comes down to bad police work. I don't know if you heard about it, but there was a kid who was lynched at a college campus somewhere in the South. I don't remember where.
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the police are ruling it a suicide.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I will say that men do hang themselves a lot more than women.
Yeah.
As it comes to suicide.
But from a tree? Like, come on, man.
A black male doing it from a tree is in particular kind of weird, like right?
Textbook.
Yeah, it's like I'm going out, but I'm going to make them think I was hate crimed. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? It's kind of like when you hear about like a woman killing herself with a gun. Women don't do that. It's just not common because women think about who has to clean out the mess while men don't care.
Yeah, they usually like OD and shit like that, like cleaner ways of doing it.
Right, exactly. And so the police in this case of the lynching were like, oh, it was a suicide, but it's like there's very clear signs that say that it's not. And a lot of the times there's like legal loopholes, right? So when depending on the state you're in, when a medical examiner or a coroner, depending on what you have, makes a determination on the cause and manner of death, that's the end of it. Mm-hmm. That determines where it goes, I should say. So if, the cause of the death was, in this case, asphyxiation, right? Because he was hung. But what's the manner of death? Ruled a suicide. That ends it. That prevents police from stepping in and taking the case and investigating it. But if they just simply said, we can't determine what the manner of death is, we can't determine if this was a suicide or a homicide, then the police can look into it and make their own determination. But the police were so eager themselves to even say this was a suicide. It's like, clearly something larger is going on here, and you're not willing to investigate. And that's like what it is with a lot of true crime. I mean, I don't know if you heard about this, but with Jeffrey Dahmer, one of his victims escaped. Mm-hmm. And he like chased him out of the apartment complex that he was in, and people called the police, and the police like contacted him, but the victim didn't speak English because he was like some kind of South Asian. And he didn't speak English, and the police were like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, this is my boyfriend. He's just super drunk and like being a jackass.
Yeah.
And the police were just like, keep it in the bedroom. Yeah. Because it's like two guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, bad police work. Literally not only got that person killed, but multiple other people killed. So it's just like, it all boils down to this could have been solved. I fully believe that the Zodiac case could have been solved if SFPD, Vallejo PD, Benicia PD, and Napa Sheriff or PD, whoever had jurisdiction over in Berryessa, just linked up and shared information with each other. And on top of that, the letters that were being sent to the Chronicle, obviously, you know how journalists are. They want the scoop, so they're not sharing. Like the LA Times and the Chronicle, they weren't communicating with each other.
Yeah.
The Vallejo, I think it's the Vallejo Times Herald, I believe that's what their newspaper is called. They weren't talking to the Chronicle. The only person that was bothering to talk to literally anyone at this time was Robert Graysmith. And no one was like listening to him about it. He was like, these are all connected. And everyone was like, no, these are all separate. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, you got a guy calling you and telling you who it is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't really believe my grandpa is the Zodiac, but I just think the timeline is interesting.
It's just a fucking timeline, dog.
I think it lines up. It lines up. That explains the Zodiac Shack in Vacaville. The fake one.
Got it. Did you ever go out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That place was interesting. It looked like it was like some sort of fucking meat processing facility before. Had like conveyor belts and shit.
I went in. It was just all dusty.
Yeah, just hella dirty.
Yeah. Oh, God. Did you remember what you wanted to tell me?
No. I've just been
watching the timer.
Flabbergasted by your fucking my dad or my grandpa's the Zodiac Killer. Let's see, what did I do this week? Was it something I did this week? I don't remember. I talked about horses.
Correct.
Talked about Battlefield.
Correct.
I started watching Dune 2.
Oh, so you finally finished Dune?
Yeah. I probably watched like 20 minutes of Dune 2 and then I went to bed.
Dune 2 is vastly more interesting than Dune 1.
Yeah, I liked the first one, but I couldn't I knew it was supposed to just be like a setup for everything, so I was just waiting to figure out like how it would end.
We have
and
Dune.
Yeah, the way it ended, I was just like, oh.
We have Dune somewhere over there.
Yeah, it's over there.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's on the left side.
Yeah.
So Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 are the same book.
Yeah.
Which is why it's just a big book. It's just a lot to land. Dune 2, the book, or whatever the second book is called, is Dune 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot easier of a concept to land. I will say that I did not like Dune 1 as much as Dune 2. I thought Dune 1 was pretty.
I liked the political intrigue in the first one.
Yes. I liked the political part of it, but it was just, again, it was all a setup for like, we need to get everyone in this starting location for Dune 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all it was.
I don't understand their shields though, because it's like, oh, the shield, like anything moving super fast won't penetrate it. So you gotta like move a little bit slower. But like,
I don't
people
remember
get
that.
fucking shot through their shields all the time. People get fucking like hacked through their shields.
I don't remember that.
Also, I was super confused for a second when I was watching the first one, because it goes from fucking Paul Atreides like going out into the desert to go camping. It like hard cuts from that to him being buried in the sand and attacking that like spice harvester. And I was like, is this just like one of his dreams he's having while he's camping or something? It just like jumped to that, and I was like,
in Dune 2?
In the first one.
Oh, in the first one.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't need someone to hold my hand and like
I think it's just
me through
non-linear storytelling.
Yeah, being like, okay, we're gonna teach you how to breathe under the sand. Like,
I will say that
it was just like a jarring jump. I was just like, what the fuck, did I miss something?
Everything that happens in Dune 1, guess I'm tired. Everything that happens in Dune 1 is a payoff in Dune 2, which is really nice. They end up like expanding on it. There's a really cool scene where they attack another harvester.
Mm-hmm.
And they all come out of the sand at once. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, they did that in the first one.
No, this is even better.
Oh, okay.
Because it's more memorable.
Okay.
Yeah. The opening scene of Dune 2 is incredible. Like the soldiers in the sand on the orange sky where they just start levitating.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everything is just a lot better. The ending is a lot better.
Yeah. Also, can the fucking Baron dude, can he just fly, or does he have like a jetpack on or something?
I think he can just fly.
Okay.
There's like an air of magic to everything.
Okay.
In Dune. It's a little interesting.
Dude, I was like kind of creeped out a little bit when because in the first movie, fucking what's his name, Leo Atreides, Paul's dad.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him Paul Allen, But
You see this spice? This is grade A gold crusted spice.
He hits that poison tooth, and then he breathes the poison into the Baron's face, and then they like bring in the fucking Dune hazmat squad to clear the air, and then the motherfucker's just like on the ceiling coughing.
So he does the levitating thing again in the second one.
Oh yeah, no, this motherfucker's just flying all over the place.
Yeah. Austin Butler is probably the best part of Dune 2.
Which one is he?
He's the son. He's the gladiator. If you're only 20 minutes in, you probably haven't met him.
Okay.
But he plays one of the Baron's sons.
Okay.
And he's like basically Paul Atreides like Joker. Like he is like the like equivalent. He's like a prince. And there's like a giant gladiator scene that they shoot in monochrome.
Yeah, I've seen the clips of that.
Yeah.
I heard they use like an IR camera or something to shoot it.
The way that Denis Villeneuve, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's Denis something. Villeneuve? I don't know. The way that he directs movies is insane. Like I've only seen a couple of his movies. I've seen Dune 1, Dune 2. I've seen Arrival. And I think I've seen parts of Sicario.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's called.
I've seen Sicario. I like that movie.
The way that he directs movies is so like I don't know how to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very like I don't know. It's Chris Nolan without being too Chris Nolan-y. Like the camera movement is so just stable, and like every shot is like sanitary.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really great. I don't know how he's gonna make a James Bond movie. I don't think it's gonna be good.
You just reminded me of this argument I've had at work. The director that made like The Dark Knight, Tenet,
Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that how you always refer to him? Just Chris Nolan.
How else would you refer to Chris Nolan? Mr. Nolan? Christopher Nolan?
I said Chris Nolan at work one time when I was talking about like Tenet, Inception, and all that shit. And someone was like, "Who's Chris Nolan?" And I was like, "The director. He made like The Dark Knight and all that shit." Like, "Oh, you mean Christopher Nolan?" Like, no one calls him Christopher Nolan.
I mean, he goes by Christopher on like his credits because that's his full name.
Yeah, I was like, everyone just calls him like Chris Nolan when you're talking, and they're like, "I've never heard anyone call him Chris."
I have a book. It might be up there about him, and the author interviews him in it. He's like, "You can just call me Chris, dude." Like,
yeah,
I prefer Chris.
Yeah, but then someone pulled out his fucking Sir title because apparently he's knighted as well.
Knighted. Yeah, he got knighted, but it was like one of her last things. Is she was like, Tenet did it for me.
I thought you had to be British to get knighted.
He is British.
Oh.
He's like he's disgustingly British.
In my defense, I've never seen a picture of the dude and never heard him talk.
Oh, God. He's so British. Why do you think all of his characters are British?
Yeah, that's true. He does have a lot of British people play Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. Like his two most American, well, I guess his most American movies is everything before the Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for Following, because Following was his first like actual movie, and it was not great, but his first actual movie. But then you have Memento, which is Guy Pearce, who's very American. Then you have Insomnia, which is Al Pacino, like the most American guy ever. And then you have, well, I guess no. Then The Prestige, which is Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, both not American people, but
yeah,
in the American Industrial Revolution.
The Prestige has been on my list of movies to watch. But I read the description of it, and it's like, oh, two magicians, and I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be something different.
So I have a list on Letterboxd called Hugh Jackman in the Industrial Era wearing a top hat, but watch out because he's a trickster and he'll con you. And that movie and The Greatest Showman are on it. Because it's exactly what it is. They're magicians, and they like first just outright acknowledge that like magic is a con thing. Like it's just like, all for show.
Yeah.
And it's him and Christian Bale doing a dick measuring contest about who's the better magician the entire time.
Yeah.
And then they get light bulb. Who, not Edison, the other light bulb guy.
Tesla?
Yes. Nikola Tesla. They get him involved, and David Bowie plays him. It's a very interesting thing, and there's a huge twist at the very end where you're watching it and you're like, in hindsight, I should have seen this coming, and I don't really know why I didn't see this coming, but this was also made in like 2006 or 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, this was probably like the first time that this was ever done. Because like, but I watched it and I just remember my jaw was on the floor. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then I like looked at the reviews and they were like, this twist was so predictable, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, forgive me for having whimsy and like enjoying a movie in the moment, like, and buying into the narrative.
Yeah, you saw the new Tron.
Oh, let's talk about child predators.
Have you seen any of the other Tron movies?
So I watched the first Tron, and then I got 20 minutes into Tron Legacy, and then the servers for Plex were cut, so I had to not watch Tron Legacy. But this is the thing: is I really think I understood the whole shtick. I will say that I did not enjoy Tron. The
Which
movie.
one?
The Tron.
The first one?
The first one.
Okay.
I didn't hate it, but I don't think I was as gagged over it as everyone is with it. Like this is the whole thing. I follow a lot of like movie people, and a lot of them are like, Tron Legacy is Tron Legacy the reason that we call it a legacy sequel? Because it took like 45 years for them to make the sequel?
I have no idea.
I need to Google that.
I think it's just named Tron Legacy because it's like...
No, I'm saying, do we call things a legacy sequel because of Tron Legacy?
Probably not.
Okay. Either way, I watched Tron and I thought it was good. I thought it looked interesting. The visual effects. I was like, it was the 1980s, so we gotta, temper our expectations here.
Yeah.
I appreciate what it had to say about like being cautious about technology. And I like understood that plot point. And then I got 20 minutes into Tron Legacy and I was like, okay, they're just kind of continuing that message, but more for the 21st century. And I think that's great. Tron Ares.
I knew it was going to be a fucking god-awful garbage movie from the second I saw the poster and the identity disc was a fucking triangle. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, are you gonna watch it or do you care if I spoil it?
No, I'm not gonna fucking watch it.
Spoilers ahead if you're a Jared Leto stan. So in the movie revolves around them, first off, bringing Tron into the real world.
Yes, and that's like also what pissed me off because how invested are you in watching Tron Legacy?
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch it. But this is the whole thing is like, again, from what I've seen, the whole like it's a metaphor. Like Tron was Tron, and yes, they went into the video game, but like what was happening inside of it was a metaphor for how computers operate. So like the good guys and the bad guys fighting was like a virus and an antivirus program fighting, right? So Tron Ares is basically Evan Peters plays Peter Thiel and is like, I'm gonna bring these things into the real life, because like the two companies from Tron, I don't forget what they're called,
MCOM
and the other one,
I don't know what the other one is. They must have introduced it in Ares.
Okay, so
it's always just been MCOM.
Okay, so there's two companies that are like both video game companies, but they're like, we're gonna pivot. Evan Peters' company is the other company, and he basically is like, we are going to make AI soldiers, but they like 3D print them, and they just happen to be based off of the property from NCOM. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna print these, but the problem is he can't make them last for more than 30 minutes because he needs the permanence code, which is in Jeff Bridges' original notes or something like that from the first Tron. And so they end up discovering the permanence code, and then it's like a whole thing about them or whatever. And I was like a little bit on board with it, despite Jared Leto's presence in the movie, because I was like, okay, this is a metaphor for like how bad AI is, like because they're bringing AI into the world and then it immediately turns on them. But I think what I was a little hesitant about in the first place was that when Tron 1 was made, this was kind of the emergence of computers,
Mhm.
modern computers, I should say. And then when Tron Legacy was made, it was kind of a response to like social media and like the rapid internetification of everything. Because I think Tron Legacy was like 2010.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it was in response to that because it didn't really deal with like the internet or anything.
No, but it was kind of like we're in a big moment for computers, like in the midst of a big moment, right? This was about AI, but AI is not new. We've had AI, first off, since the 80s, but even if you want to go with like a generative AI, it's, again, you're 3 years too late. Like, people have been bitching and complaining about it for so long now that it's like you're not warning anyone about it. You're just adding to the conversation.
The first Tron wasn't released like the same year that the first personal home computer was released.
No, but it just, I don't know, it felt weird. But even if you want to like throw that away, you're like, okay, Jared Leto's clearly the bad guy because he gives the, oh God, what, master controller?
MCP?
Yeah. So Evan Peters is MCP. It's basically like a Wizard of Oz situation where like MCP is just Evan Peters typing code into his computer. And that's another thing is like they were not very subtle about the metaphors in this movie about how like Jared Leto isn't real inside the computer. He's just a program, and it's just a visualization of what the program is doing. Like there's a whole scene where they're like scaling a wall of someone's like servers, and it's like, you know, we don't need to see this. But he comes out and immediately is like, I want to live out here in the real world. And you're like, okay, so it's AI gone bad. Whoop-de-doo. iRobot's done that. So many things have done that. Like, what are we adding here? And then there's a scene where they're going to send Jared Leto from the real world back into, is it Billy Flynn? Is that his name?
Flynn, yeah.
Flynn, whatever, Jeff Bridges' computer. They're going to send him back into that computer from the original Tron. So they're like, you're going to go back and you're going to be in the original Tron game. So, like, you're not going to be connected to the internet. You're not going to, like, you're going to be in there. And there's a scene where he's like, I'm going to go in there and you're going to cut the cord. And I'm going to be stuck in there. And she was like, I could do that. And then he goes in there and she like kind of falls in love with him. And I'm like, she doesn't like actually like fall in love with him, but she like grows to like him. And I'm like, okay, so we went from this being like AI is bad to like embracing AI message.
And all I'm going to say is Tron Ares should not exist based off the conclusion of Tron Legacy. Like, all of Tron Legacy was about literally stopping what happened in Tron's Ares from happening.
Yeah.
Like,
and there was
so fucking dumb.
Maybe it's because I haven't seen Legacy, but there was no lead into it. They just kind of jumped into the story.
Yeah, I imagine even if you saw Legacy, it's not gonna help.
Yeah. And on top of all that, and this is the crazy part. So the one redeeming quality about the movie, I will give this. First off, they mentioned Depeche Mode, so like that was great. Love Depeche Mode. There is a scene when Jared Leto goes back into the original Tron universe. They don't update it. They use the original graphics. So there's like a scene where he uses the light bike. What are they called? Light bikes? He uses the light bike, and it is like literally the exact same like quality as the original movie from the 1980s. And I was like, okay, I respect that. I respect the hustle. And they don't dumb down his graphics. So he looks like a modern person in the 1980s software. And it looks pretty cool. But they do make him that kind of weird, like bluish gray. That was like the best part of the movie. But otherwise, it's like there's like scenes where they're chasing people throughout the streets of whatever city this is in, this unambiguous city that is just San Francisco. And it's like, this is not pretty. Like, the original Tron was not particularly gorgeous because of, you know, it just looks like an 80s CGI slop thing, but like
Tron Legacy is fucking gorgeous.
Well, that's the thing, is like the footage I've seen from that is good, but even the original Tron movie for its time was still colorful and, you know, pushing the boundaries on something. This was just like, hey, what if I put a light bike in the city of San Francisco?
Yeah,
so it just looked like a bright red streak on like a beige background, and it's like,
because like the light bikes and the trails they leave behind and everything like that are not actually physically there, just like everything else. It's in like a different dimension. It's just a physical interpretation of data. How the
Yeah.
fuck are you gonna have that work in the streets of San Francisco?
They
What
also
is processing the data?
and I don't know how, again, I don't know if this is addressed in Legacy, but they have a lot of different like random vehicles in this. Like someone has like a glider.
Yeah,
And
well, because the OG Tron, you had the light bikes and you had the monitors, those big ass like kind of
staple.
upside down, yeah,
Looks like a staple.
looking
Yeah.
thing.
So
yeah.
that was there, but this one
And
of the
then-
soldiers had like a straight up like glider.
Yeah, in Legacy, they evolved the vehicles a little bit more because the technology has advanced. Flynn took and he took the grid and like rebuilt it into his own image. And yeah, you had like some glider vehicles, you had like a bigger like plane type vehicle, you had like this fucking all-terrain vehicle type thing that could go off grid. And then you have a couple different versions of the light bikes.
Okay.
So they do like evolve the vehicles in Legacy, but
this is the whole, it's like they just like slap them in.
yeah.
Like they made tanks, which was fine.
Tanks were in the first Tron as well.
Yeah, no, they brought the
those.
tanks into the real world. But again, it was just like, oh, here's this like neon rimmed tank in the streets of San Francisco. Like it just looked bad. Like, I mean, they didn't look fake, but it was like, what is this for?
Yeah.
You know, like
what really pisses me off about this movie being made is there was a sequel written for Tron Legacy. Because something ends up happening at the end of Legacy, yeah, and then it's like you can just end the movie there and it's fine, but it's also open to a sequel happening. It's not like a completely definitive end, but there's not any questions that are left, like, oh, what's gonna happen next, like type shit.
Yeah,
it's not I guess aggressively set up for a sequel where you can just like see it coming, but there is a room for it to be there. And they canceled it because Tron Legacy didn't do that well in box offices, which sucks because it is a great fucking movie. It has great music. This was like one of the last times this happened, but there's a tie-in game for Tron Legacy that was made for the PlayStation 3 called Tron Evolution. And I played the shit out of that when I was a kid because I love Tron.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
So
you play as a what is it called? I don't know. So I think he's also called a monitor, but he's not a vehicle, he's a program.
So in this one, they do tease a sequel, and they're clearly making a sequel. I don't think it'll happen.
No, they're gonna cancel it. It had a lower opening weekend than Morbius did. Like,
we're all busy that weekend.
We're all busy
Morbius a third time.
I promise I'll go see it this time.
Yeah. I don't know. My theater was pretty packed. Very weird. Maybe Sacramento's a big 9 Inch Nails hub.
Yeah, I've heard the only good thing about that movie was the soundtrack.
There's a challenge out called the Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross challenge because they're the ones that helped do the soundtrack for it. And it was like go into Tron, put on a blindfold, and just listen.
Yeah, the soundtrack for Legacy is great too because that was all done by Daft Punk.
Yeah, oh, that's why I want to watch it. But yeah, I don't know. It was just not a good movie. Boring. Just absolutely uninspired.
Disgusting.
Terrible garbage. I hated almost every part of it. And it sucks because they put Greta Lee in it and she's amazing. And they also put the guy from that Star Wars game that everyone likes into it.
Same guy that's in
Shameless? Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Cameron Monaghan or something like that. They put him into it for 2 seconds and then he dies.
Cool.
And it's like, awesome. Throw a top billed actor into this movie just for them to die.
Fucking hate Disney.
Yeah. I don't know what was happening there. So, the movie ended and I looked at Sean and I said, close enough. Welcome back, Madam Web. That's about where we're at. So.
Everything's terrible.
Oh, it also had really, really bad ADR. Like the words being said and heard were not matching up with the lips at all.
Interesting. I wonder if that was because of the theater or because that's how it is.
Oh no, they were just physically different words.
Oh.
Like you can tell that the script was changed and they had to reread over what they already said on screen.
Damn.
Yeah. So bad movie, 1.5 stars.
I wouldn't even give it a single one.
Well, the lowest you can give it on Letterboxd is 0.5 star.
Yeah.
Or you could just leave a review with no rating on it.
That's even better.
Well, no, because you want to push the average rating down.
Yeah. So no rating.
No, that just contributes. That's like adding 0 to 1. You still have 1.
Well, not if you average.
But it doesn't count. That's not how Letterboxd works.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to leave a rating for it to affect the actual like score. But you can leave 5 stars on this episode of the Learning Curve podcast.
Yep.
Let's read out some socials. Oh my god, where are my socials? Okay. YouTube, we are Learning Curve Pod. Shout out to our 3 new followers this week.
Hell yeah.
Our Monster Quest video that I put out got a lot of comments on it. Very interesting.
Monster Quest?
Yeah, I put out like a thing about like how we talked about Monster Quest last week.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently all the episodes are on YouTube, so
ooh,
stream Monster Quest. Instagram, we are learningcurve.podcast. Twitter, we are learncurvepod. Bluesky, learningcurvepod.bsky.social. TikTok, we are Learning Curve Podcast. We also got a lot of comments on there this week too, which was interesting. Couple of new followers. Bodhi's Twitch is Shrink3Dink. My Twitch, which has been reactivated as of last night, is ChefCram. It turns out I don't hate playing video games. You just need to make a good video game.
fair.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk?
My Substack is still on pause, and your Substack is Shrinky.
Yep.
Don't know how that's spelled, but
SHRINKE.
yeah, Shrinky.
I'm still working on. I've like tried writing this One Piece thing like 3 different times. The first time I wrote it, I was just rambling about and giving like an entire plot synopsis of One Piece. And so I deleted that and I tried writing it again. And my like start is good, but I don't know where to take it from there. And so I might have to delete it and restart it again. I don't fucking know.
It's my shark episode all over again. All right, tell us, who do you think the Zodiac Killer is? Is it my grandpa? Probably not.
What's your least favorite Jared Leto moment? That's gonna be a lot harder to pick than your favorite Jared Leto moment.
I can't wait for Disney's lesson from this to be, it's Tron that people don't like, not Jared Leto.
People love Tron. I promise. Just, don't be shit. That's it.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.